Hey everyone, welcome to Content Area Reading. Before I start discussing week 1, I would like to remind all of you to check out Instructor Announcements. There are several things in there that you're going to need. And this is also where I place your video each week. So please be sure and check that frequently. All right, on to week 1. This week, we're talking about the impact of motivation on reading. You need to read chapter 1 from Subjects Matter, which is our text. Chapter 1 is the core purposes of reading. And chapter 2 talks about how smart readers think. At the end of this week, you should be able to define reading and understand the components of the reading process, understand the responsibilities of the teacher in building and activating schema in reading comprehension, identify and apply the reading skills and thinking strategies necessary for success in all content areas. Investigate the use of book clubs or literature circles in content areas, and understand the impact of book clubs, literature circles on interest and motivation to read. Now remember that this whole course is on content reading, informational text, nonfiction text. This is a slot for your introductions. I know that some of you have already placed yours in there. Thank you. My video can be found under Instructor Announcements. Your week 1 PowerPoint. You'll need to read through this. There's our scripture. Within each PowerPoint, there are specific questions and prompts that you'll need to answer each week. What you're going to do is create a Word document and then just put your responses by the appropriate number. For example, for week 1, your first response on this document is to introduce yourself to the class. Talk about your educational background, your certification area, information about your family, job, whatever you'd like to tell us. There's our objectives again for the week. Talking about the syllabus. Be sure that you read through all the assignments and the rubrics. There is a video just on the diversity strategy lesson for you to view. It also in here talks about your research paper and presentation. Response number 2 is going to be your dyslexia strategy lesson topic, which you're going to use the flip charts, tools for teaching content literacy, and more tools for teaching content literacy by Janet Allen to pick a strategy that you want to center your dyslexia strategy lesson plan around. Your third response is on the research paper and presentation. On Moodle in week 1, there is a Sign Up Genius where you can select your topic for your paper. And again, I know some of you have already done that, and thank you. Response 4 is to write down your definition of reading. And I'm not going to go through this whole PowerPoint with you. You're quite capable of doing that. Here it talks about your response number 5. Lots of good information that you're going to need to know and understand. Content reading. Make sure that you read that slide and this slide. The Ohio State standards are organized by category and grade level. Literacy standards are included for content areas of math, science, social studies, and we're going to get to that shortly. Here is a PowerPoint on literature circles that you will need to read through.
Hi, everyone.
Here is a video demonstrating Think Aloud, where the teacher demonstrates what's going on in her head as she is reading aloud to the students. And this is done by Sherry Jacobs, an excellent colleague of mine. Here is the topics to sign up for the research paper. Here are the standards that I was referring to: language arts, math, social studies, and science. But I also want to call your attention to something else. Further back in the standards are the literacy standards for history or social studies, science, and technical subjects in grades 6 through 12. So in chapter 2, I believe it talks about every teacher is a teacher of reading. And that includes those high school teachers. Actually, it's in chapter 1. So it's not that they're just teaching history or social studies. There's also literacy standards that go with that. And there are also writing standards for literacy in history, social studies, science, and technical subjects for grades 6 through 12. There's also a video on writing measurable objectives. For week 5, for your dyslexia strategy lesson plan, you're going to need to select a topic. You're going to need to select standards and write measurable objectives. If you would like for me to preview the topic, the standard, and the measurable objective before week 4, all you need to do is send it to me via email and I will look over it and give you my comments. But it must be before week 4. This is a major assignment. It goes on to Chalk and Wire as well as Moodle. So you're going to want to put a lot of thought into it. And remember, it's on informational text, nonfiction. You're going to have a forum discussion, which your initial post is due Wednesday by 11:59 p.m. And you're going to respond to at least 2 classmates by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Please remember that your initial response should use scholarly sources to support your statements, and you should have accurate APA citations and references. So if you reference something at the end of your post, I should be able to go up into the post and find the citation that matches that reference. You can't have one without the other. So the way these are scored is they will, your score will reflect the overall depth and quality of your responses, the total word count relative to the required minimum amount for each discussion post, and adhere to the weekly deadlines. So your Forum 1-1 is based on your reading of chapters 1 and 2. And here is the PowerPoint response. This is where you submit that Word document that I was discussing earlier. And this lists out the directions that you need to follow. So before you submit, make sure that you have answered all 6 of these. This assignment is worth 30 points and it's due by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. I'm looking forward to our learning together, and I'm very excited to get going on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you.